I hope your work week is off to a great start, and I hope you are excited for the best regular season NFL game of the 2023 year. I could not be more pumped. Eagles, Chiefs, let's get it on. Monday Night Football should make for a great matchup. There is some weather at Arrowhead. That's going to play a factor on some of our bets. We'll talk about all the picks we're making, game picks, player props, the total play. We're also going to dive into some NBA and NHL picks as well for tonight's action. As always, Butt Fumble Sports is live here on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, answering all of your fantasy questions, talking sports betting with you guys, and helping you out with your DFS lineups if you play that for Monday Night Football. I could not be more excited about tonight's game. It was a wonderful Sunday show with you guys yesterday. It was a great day of watching football with you guys, but it doesn't end on Sunday night. It gets even better. This is one of the rare times where I'm actually like, man, thank God Sunday football is over. Let's get to Monday Night Football. Could not be more excited about this one. Hope you guys are as well. No matter the platform you're watching on, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, or Kick, Butt Fumble Sports is here for all of you guys. So make sure you're throwing your questions, your comments in the chat. This show is for everybody. It's not just for subscribers. I know I had the subscriber only button on, but feel free to put in your questions no matter where you're watching. We are here for everybody across all of these platforms. Here for everybody. So if you do have a fantasy football question, fire away, a sports betting question. Make sure you guys do follow us though across all of our channels, YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick. Make sure you guys follow. Make sure you subscribe. And of course, hit the like button on the video. Goes a long way in the algorithm, letting others know that Butt Fumble Sports is some great sports content other sports fans should check out. With that said, I'm going to put all of my commentary to the side for a little while, and let's get into your fantasy football questions. So, we will be giving out picks every 2,000 likes. Every 2,000 likes, we will be dropping a pick on you guys. And of course, every time we hit our live goal, we'll give out a pick. So let's go to work, everybody. Let's give out some picks. Let's have a lot of fun and hopefully make everybody a lot of money for today. Really excited about what we got going on today. O'Day, what's good? Should I trade Diggs for Puka and Jacobs? I don't know if I would. Like getting Jacobs right now, but don't know if I would actually. I'm not quick to move on from Diggs, even given the situation in Buffalo. Daniel, thoughts on Hurts over 32.5 passing attempts. We're going to dive into some of those player prop bets in just a minute. Haven't looked at that one myself. Let's take a quick look on Outlier and give it a look. Daniel's asking about Jalen Hurts on passing attempts. Let's give it a quick look right here on Outlier. When I go to Outlier, I can see all of the stats, all of the trends right here on my screen in front of me. If you guys want to check it out, DM me on Instagram to learn a little bit more about it. So this is what I would say, Daniel. This has been a very good trend so far this year. 7 of the last 10 games this has hit. 3 out of the last 5. Here's my only concern. This is a really good pass defense of the Chiefs and not one that gives up a ton of passing attempts. I would actually avoid this play. If I had to go in any direction, I actually might take the under or I'd avoid it altogether. I think the rushing attempts may be up. Chiefs are a good pass defense. I don't think that's how the Eagles are going to be successful. I think they're going to run to open up the pass. I would lean towards the under on this one, believe it or not. If I had to go in one direction, I might lean towards the under. Now, I know this has cashed in 2 games previously against the Chiefs. One of the reasons I'm not betting it at all, Daniel, is the trends don't line up all in one direction. But if you had to ask me, I wouldn't take it because I think the under might be actually the better play just slightly. But I wouldn't take it. What I would take is Jalen Hurts over on rushing attempts. I'm sure a lot of you guys have been thinking about that one as well, given how often he runs. Right now, the over is set at 8.5. This is a good play. It's been very consistent. I know it's missed 2 out of the last 4, but I do like that play. Is Jalen Hurts over? If you could get it at 7.5, even better. But over 8.5 rushing attempts is a play that I would think is a good one. Let's get into some of your fantasy questions. Nick, Mostert, McLaurin, or CeeDee Lamb? Nick, Mostert and McLaurin for CeeDee Lamb. I think you're giving up a bit too much. I love CeeDee Lamb, but I do think you're giving up a bit too much in that deal. Carter, 22, trade Montgomery and Murray for Gibbs. I have Hurts. Latavius Murray, I'd probably be okay with it. It's close, though. Ishan, Hurts 30-plus fantasy points? No, I don't think so. Toby, trade Waddle for DJ Moore. When DJ Moore has Justin Fields out there, he performs really well. I would lean towards it, yes. Do you think Jones comes back soon? Josh, I'm worried about that injury. Could be a little bit longer, but fortunately it's not season-ending is what we're hearing. Sahil Patel, should I trade Singletary for Schultz? Absolutely not. I think Singletary has real value right now. I wouldn't move on from him too quick. Oh, Kyler Murray. Montgomery and Kyler Murray for Gibbs? No, you're giving up too much. Hurts for a rushing touchdown? I'm not going to bet that one, but it's been a very popular play. I'll put it that way. Nakua for Williams, Javonte Williams. Bench Nakua and need a running back. I don't love Williams as the running back you're getting, but I like the idea. I try to go to someone who's a little bit better than Williams, maybe. Lang Bang, I need Hurts, Swift, and Kelsey to drop 55. You think I got a chance? You have an outside chance. Not a great one, but an outside chance, yes. Theo, Cup for DJ Moore. I'd be okay with it again. I'll say what I've said before. When Justin Fields is out there, love it, love it, love it. Trade Jamar Chase for A.J. Brown. Jessica, yes, you should. A.J. Brown, right now you could argue is the #1 wide receiver in the NFL, at least statistically. Meanwhile, Jamar Chase has a backup throwing to him, so yes, I'd make the move. Nick, trade Tay, Eck, and Jefferson for Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, Henry, and Javonte. The answer is no. Nick, I would not do the deal. Nick, I would actually not do that deal. Jeremiah, Pollard for Pacheco. Jeremiah, I'm not crazy about it. Cowboys have a lot of good matchups. At least they're favorable towards the running game back half of the year. So I wouldn't be too quick on it. Alex Hernandez, JJ for Saquon and Deontay. I don't know if I like it. I like what I saw from Saquon yesterday. We talked about that. Expected him to have a big game. But can we really rely on the Giants rest of season? And beyond that, can I trust Kenny Pickett with Deontay Johnson? I like the 2-for-1 value, and I like getting the running back, Alex. So if you want to do it, sure. But JJ might be... You've held on to him this long. You're going to give him up now? I'm up 44. They have Kelsey. Do you think Kelsey somehow does magic tonight? No. I think he could have a big game, but not 44 points big. Andrew, I traded Ayuk and Hall for Chase and Madison. Opinion. Sorry, Andrew, but that's a bad one. That was a bad one right there. Jessica Gray, Kirk or Olave rest of season. I'd say Christian Kirk. I'd say Christian Kirk rest of season. Flappo, 328. Need Hurts, Smith, and Butker to get 39 points. Think I get there? No, I think you fall just short, but I like the idea. I like the hope. Guys, when we hit 2,000 likes tonight, we are going to give out a pick. So make sure you're tapping that screen, getting us up to 8,000, getting us up to 2,000 likes. We're going to drop picks every time that we get up to that benchmark. Noah, start 2, Puka, Tank Dell, or DJ Moore. Noah, if we're talking about next week, I haven't looked at it yet. Haven't started looking at it yet, so... G, I accidentally traded Walker for Henry. As it turns out, you got the better of the deal, G. Andrew, are you worried about Eckler? A little bit. I expected him to have a really big game yesterday, and he didn't. But it's not on Austin Eckler. What really concerns me is the Chargers have bad play calling. And I'm not just talking about the defense. Everyone's talked about Brandon Staley. But I think a lot of people talked about when Kellen Moore came over that there was going to be this huge upgrade offensively. The truth of the matter is, Kellen Moore pissed off a lot of people in Dallas because he didn't call obvious running plays. That's the problem they're having now. You have Austin Eckler in the backfield. Why are you throwing it on 4 straight downs in the red zone? 4 straight downs at like the goal line. I don't understand the play calling by Kellen Moore. He might just have a fetish for quarterbacks getting stats. But frankly, I don't like how they're using Austin Eckler. It's what concerns me. I still like Austin Eckler as a top 5, top 6 fantasy running back when healthy, but I am concerned about the Chargers play calling. I'll certainly say that. Avery Paul, do I start Garrett Wilson or Rachaad White rest of season? Rachaad White, Rachaad White, Rachaad White. Jorge, Charbonnet is absolutely a must pick up right now. Liked what I had. I liked what I saw before yesterday. Really impressed by what I saw, and obviously with Walker out. Eshawn, Kellen Moore saved Keenan Allen. I can agree with there. I can agree with that. Like, I think Kellen Moore has a love for Keenan Allen, and I'm sure it's reciprocated by the wide receiver. But there are times you just need to hand the ball off. Like, you have invested in an offensive line. You have a great running back. Not a good running back, a great running back. I don't understand why they didn't hand the ball off inside the 5-yard line. Like, that infuriated me. What are your thoughts on White, though? Avery Paul, I really like White. A lot of upside. He's been utilized really well. Really like him. Kaner, what do you think about Hollywood Brown going forward? Wish I had seen a little bit more from him yesterday. I was disappointed that Rondale Moore ended up being kind of the bigger pass guy. I think the trouble we have with Hollywood Brown is the athleticism is there, but he has now been in Baltimore and in Arizona, and I'm still waiting on this dude to really pop and take off. So I'm not big on him. I wouldn't want him on my squad, but if you do have him, if you're not playing him these weeks, then why have him at all? Jorge, so sorry about the injuries yesterday. That's a rough one. Ishan, McBride or Hollywood Brown rest of season. I tend to lean towards the tight end right now. I think the tight end will probably get targeted more. Daniel Soria, is McCaffrey for Hill a good trade? It's good, yeah. I don't know if I love it, though. We don't need this poll. We don't need these polls, guys. Appreciate the moderators doing it, but we don't need the polls. Do you think it's safe to start Gibbs and Montgomery together moving forward? Depending on the matchup, absolutely. I still think it's matchup-based. Ding City, should I trade away Ayuk and Montgomery for Devontae Adams and Jonathan Taylor? No. No, I wouldn't do it. I like getting Taylor, but Montgomery's got enough value on his own. And I think Ayuk, especially with Debo back healthy, Ayuk's one of those wide receivers who actually performs better when he's not wide receiver one, when there's someone else drawing attention. I wouldn't give up those two right now. Thoughts on Brian Robinson? Keep him? Yes, I would. Again, I talked about this in our night show yesterday. Brian Robinson didn't get the touchdown I expected. However, he did get a lot of yards, so he still had a decent fantasy day even without getting in the end zone. He's been a top 5 fantasy running back so far this year. I'm not moving on from him just yet. They're going to continue to be a balanced offense with Sam Howell. I still keep Brian Robinson. Neil Dynasty, I didn't answer your question, so don't worry. Haven't looked at Week 12, guys. I have not looked at Week 12, and I know there are some people who might come on social media, do a show, and they can just quickly skip. I really want to dive into the research. I want to look at the trends. I don't want to give you a quick, non-informed opinion on Week 12 on this Monday. So if you do have Week 12 questions, please join us. We have a show every single day. You guys should know that, you loyal viewers out there. We are live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Every weekend, we are live. So make sure you guys just follow us, watch us. I'm going to do my research tonight, Neil Dynasty. I'll look at Week 12. But I got to admit, I'm too excited about Monday Night Football. We haven't gotten any Monday Night Football questions just yet, but I'm too excited about this matchup. I'm not moving on from it just yet. I'm too pumped. Jackson, I just lost Burrow and I have Goff. Do I pick up Fields, Dak, or Howell rest of season? I'd probably say pick up Dak. Dak has some really favorable matchups through the remainder of the year. I love owning Goff. I'm a big Goff guy. I think he really... By the way, I told you guys my 3 favorite quarterbacks for this week 11 were Goff, Purdy, Patrick Mahomes. Goff had too many picks, but still came through with those 2 touchdowns. I think Goff's a good own, but having another quarterback's a smart move. Wise Guy, 1089. I need 34 points from Hurts and Smith tonight to win. You think it happens? Here's what actually could benefit you. I don't think it happens, but here's what could benefit you. I think the Chiefs are going to try to take away A.J. Brown and force Hurts to go to Devontae Smith. That's what I would do. So it might actually end up paying off for you. I'm pretty heavy on receivers, need running backs. Do you think Jamar Chase and Puka for AJ and Montgomery is worth? I think it's a great deal for you. I don't think the other person would think it's a great deal. Has Montgomery proved himself as a must-start coming back from injury and splitting with Gibbs? Jorge, it's pretty close to it, yes. Montgomery is still an RB1 in fantasy status. I'm still very high on him. Even with Gibbs performing better, I still like David Montgomery a whole hell of a lot. Nicholas, Mahomes, Mitchell, and Garrett Wilson for Evans and McBride, or Devontae Smith, Zay, and McBride. I wouldn't give up Mahomes, Mitchell, and Wilson. I'd give up Wilson, but right now Mahomes and Mitchell have a lot of upside. I wouldn't go for it. Who would you pick up for Mark Andrews? Trey McBride is a good one to think about. Again, I'll take a quick look at this part for Week 12. Just looking ahead to maybe some teams that have favorable matchups against some defenses that are bad against tight ends. Pat Freiermuth might be a good pickup. The Cincinnati Bengals are a very bad defense against tight ends. Steelers play Bengals next Sunday. Maybe the Steelers are a good play for you guys. Someone to consider. Luke Musgrave continues to be someone that I would consider. Logan Thomas, maybe. Hunter Henry, Patriots tight end Hunter Henry. He's going up against the Giants. That could be a decent play. So there are just a few that come to mind. Funny enough, likely the backup tight end for the Ravens could have a good game against the Chargers. Fisher Iverson, thoughts on Olave rest of season? Man, who's their quarterback? I almost prefer Jameis Winston from what I've seen from Derek Carr. I think Olave, the one thing we can trust is he's going to get targeted enough. The question is, can he get enough yards or can he get a touchdown? That's always a shaky proposition. Guys, we have hit 2,000 likes and we're climbing towards 4,000. Every time we hit a 2,000 like benchmark, we give out one of our favorite bets of the day. We're going to be giving out player prop bets and game picks throughout the show. So make sure you're tapping that screen. We are going to give out our first pick of the night, everybody. And I'm going to make this one a Monday Night Football special. Chiefs on the money line, guys. I'm taking the Chiefs on the money line. Have no issue taking this one. I'm taking the Chiefs at home. Andy Reid off a bye week. There are a number of trends that actually suggest the Chiefs are a really good play. One, Jalen Hurts has actually performed very poorly against the spread, something to take note of. Two, when Super Bowl rematches occur the following year in the regular season, the team that won the Super Bowl is undefeated in recent history. And three, did I mention Andy Reid after a bye week? I'm taking Chiefs on the money line tonight, guys. Chiefs on the money line. Tyler, what do I do with Achane? I don't think you start him next week. I don't trust that he is clearly not healthy enough for us to have confidence in him. I know he's got a really good matchup against the Jets on Friday, but I think Mostert's a must start. I wouldn't start Achane. I'm worried about it. Thoughts on Hurts and Rice tonight? I think Hurts is going to be asked to run a little bit more. I think Rice could have a good night. I do like the two of them. I don't know how many fantasy points they could get for those who are really desperate, though. Jessica Gray, would you do Stroud, Jamar Chase, and Kirk for A.J. Brown and Olave? No. The answer is no. I can't move on from Stroud and Christian Kirk right now. No, I don't actually like the deal. No, sorry, Jessica Gray. I don't like it enough. Trade Rashad White for Swift. Asian Blubs, I would not do that deal. I would not do it. Should I drop Boyd for OBJ? Yes. Snoop DK, yes, I would do that deal. Absolutely. CPOC, should we trade Pollard after this week? If you're looking to trade high on him, yes. But the Cowboys have a favorable run schedule the rest of the year. Some teams that give up a lot of rushing yards. I wouldn't move on from them just yet. Let me just say that. Really quick, I'm going to pull up the Dallas Cowboys defense or Cowboys schedule. They play the Commanders this week. A good opportunity against the run. The Bills, good opportunity against the run. Commanders again at the end of the year. Good opportunity against the run. So you have at least 3 games, if not 4. I understand there are some tough ones. Lions are a good run defense. Eagles are a good run defense. So it's kind of a split decision, but I still think there are some opportunities there to hold on to them. I don't know if I trade him. You'd have to get good value back. Matt Chubb, good Chase replacement. I don't know if I'd trade Chase. I still think he's a wide receiver 2 in value, so something to consider there. Somehow I don't think Aaron Jones is hurt that bad. Brock Ford, it is amazing. When I saw him carted off the field, I thought that was it for his season. I'm very happy to hear that he might be okay. Couple reasons. 1, I really like him as a person. 2, he's a phenomenal football player. And 3, the Packers are not the same team without him. Would absolutely change their season. So happy to hear that he might be okay. Or at least better than we first expected. Guys, we just hit 4,000 likes, so I'm going to give out another pick for tonight's game. We're going to make this a player prop bet for you guys. Player prop bet coming your way. First player prop bet we're giving out tonight. Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Usually you cannot get this bet. Usually it's set at 2.5 given the Patrick Mahomes' status with the sports books. But because it's the Eagles, for some reason they set it at 1.5. I don't know why. The Eagles give up a ton of passing yards and a lot of passing touchdowns. Eagles are a great run defense. They're bad in the passing game as a defense. So Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns, I think is a phenomenal bet tonight. I really like this one. It does speak to also, I'm kind of fading Isaiah Pacheco. I don't like Pacheco tonight from a running game or touchdown standpoint. Maybe others do, but I don't. So Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Player prop bet we just dropped for hitting 4,000 likes. When we hit 6,000 likes, everybody, we will give out another pick. You think Kupp is going to play this week? Brock Ford, I'm literally waiting on word just like you. I wish I had inside sources, Brock Ford, but Still waiting to hear what the status is moving forward with him. He's got a favorable matchup this week against the Cardinals, so for fantasy owners of Cup, I do hope he's back in time. Should I drop Ingram for Njoku or keep Ingram? Nuve DK, I'd keep Ingram. Drizzy, Kadarius Toney, over half a reception. We haven't hit 6,000 likes yet, Drizzy, but you've already hit on something I like as well. So, I was doing my research on Outlier. I came home, I was at the train station, came home for the holidays, and I'm going through Outlier, and I'm looking at the trends, and I go, damn, Kadarius Toney, his line is set at half a reception? That can't be. Looked at it again. Guess what? Kadarius Toney over half a reception, that's all it is. Now, I understand Kadarius Toney's had drops this year. I understand Kadarius Toney has had his stock plummet. But over half a reception, again, against an Eagles defense that has been terrible against the pass, I'll take it. One catch, I'll take that bet. So I just put it up on my board as well, Drizzy. That's Kadarius Toney over half a reception. Looking for one catch from him. Not any of this jet sweep nonsense. Let's just get one catch in there. Cash that ticket. What's the value on Ridley? Diego Garza. I actually talked about this one last week. I mentioned to you guys, I think Calvin Ridley has a lot of value in the back half of the season. I think week 1, he had that massive game, kind of not surprising. New toy for Trevor Lawrence, he over-targeted him. Then opposing defenses, 1, got a whole lot better, and 2, started to focus on him more, gave Christian Kirk more opportunities. Now, I think Ridley has found his place in this offense. I also think they're figuring out more ways to get him involved. I really like Ridley back half of the season. I think his stats kind of find their level, find more of the average. Poor first half of the year. I think he performs better in the second half. So that's my take, Diego. Brendan, would you trade Etienne and Pittman for Aaron or for A.J. Brown? The answer is I would. I don't love giving up that running back position in Etienne, but A.J. Brown is just that valuable. I do want to make note of one thing, though. I do want to look at one thing before we get a little too excited about it. A.J. Brown's schedule for the remainder of the year. Chiefs tonight, then the Bills. 49ers, Cowboys, Seahawks, Giants, Cardinals, and Giants again. The reason I mention his schedule is he has tough matchups against the 49ers and the Cowboys in that 2-week stretch that's going to come right at the end of your regular season, at the beginning of your playoffs. So be mindful of that. However, if you're willing or you can get through that stretch, Seahawks, Giants, and Cardinals follow that. That is a playoff caliber player right there. So yes, I would try and trade for A.J. Brown now. Skickness, I would go Pollard. I prefer Pollard, I think. Let me give a quick look. I know the Denver Broncos have a favorable schedule towards the back half of the year, but let me give it a quick look before I overreact. Denver Broncos remaining schedule. Browns, tough against the run. Texans, better against the run than you think. Chargers, better against the run than the pass. And the Raiders, Patriots, Chargers, Raiders. The answer is actually, I don't like Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams has some good run defenses still on the board. Browns, Lions, Chargers, Texans, these are teams that are better against the run than the pass. So I tend to kind of fade Javonte Williams' value rest of season. Isaiah Daniels, is it time to give up on Cup? Kind of. I do feel like it's at that point. Also, 10-plus rushing attempts for Jalen Hurts. Daniel Pipko, that's way too much. That's way too much, I think. I think 10.5. I like the 8.5. 10, asking for 10. I just think it's too high. I think he gets to 9. So is it way too high? No, in terms of what he could accomplish. It is in terms of a line. Mahomes, Bosa, Watt, Garrett, sack, prop, cashed. Mahomes, I told you and I told all of you guys out there, sack bets are great bets. Sack bets are phenomenal bets. Now, I'm not saying for every game. Actually, tonight, I couldn't see one good sack play. I did my research. These are 2 really good offensive lines. I actually think there are some under sack totals that might be better tonight, or under sack player props. But that said, if you look at the Sunday slate of games, there are good sack bets every week. So guys, I know people like betting anytime touchdown. I know like people betting on receiving and rushing yards. Betting on a defensive player to get a sack is as good a bet, I feel like, as there is out there. Mando, Swift protecting a 7-point lead against Devontae Smith tonight. Do I get a dub? Don't understand the question. Swift protect. So you have Swift and you're protecting the 7-point lead? I think you're okay, but Hi, I'm Toby. I have Kirk and Devontae and Olave. Who should I start next week? Hi, I'm Toby. I haven't looked at week 12 yet because I don't want to give you guys bad information, kind of half-ass information. I want to give you not half-ass information, but Butt Fumble Sports information. We give you the full two cheeks right here at Butt Fumble Sports. So I'm going to do my research tonight, dive into the trends, the analytics, the stats, the data, find good matchups for next week. I am not going to give out week 12 picks or fantasy advice because I would hate to give you guys wrong information, have you guys get that into your head on a Monday night, and then by the time you get to Thursday, Friday, or Sunday, keep in mind, Thursday, Friday have games as well this week. So, a lot of opportunities to talk fantasy, but I'm going to wait to talk week 12. Tomorrow is week 12 focus. Tonight, we're just going to celebrate the fact that there's a great Monday night game. Honestly, how many times over the last 5 years can you go, there's a great Monday night game on? Probably the last time I said that, in all honesty, was Bills-Bengals last year when Damar Hamlin had his unfortunate event and incident. So, I could not be more excited for this Monday night game. I'm certainly going to enjoy it. Sean, I missed your 6K bet. Sean, you're calling me out appropriately. Good job by the viewers out there, because I haven't given out a bet yet for my 6,000 likes. Good job by you. You guys got to keep me honest. If I'm not giving out bets every 2,000 likes, pull Butt Fumble Sports and go, hey, buddy, get with the picks. Let's do it, everybody. So, I already gave out Chiefs on the money line. I've given out 3 picks so far. Chiefs on the money line. Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns. And Kadarius Toney over half a reception. Now, I'm also going to give out this bet, but I'm going to warn you guys, I'm taking this one. I'm not telling you to tail it. It's not one of my favorite bets, but I'm going to ride with this one, okay? I'm going Eagles, Chiefs, and I'm going to take the under on this one. I would take the under at maybe 50.5. But I think the under hits in this game. 3 reasons. 1, there is some weather in this game. Maybe that impacts the offenses just a little bit. 2, these defenses are better than we think. The Chiefs defense is really good. The Eagles defense, maybe not as good in the secondary, but they're still a really good defense up front. They get pressure on quarterbacks with a 4-man front. So good defenses tonight. And the last reason is the Chiefs offense isn't as good as it was last year, and the Eagles offense wasn't as good as it was last year. Swift might be a better running back in the backfield, but the loss of Dallas Goedert, this is a much different Eagles offense without Dallas Goedert. So only having A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith as your 2 primary weapons in the passing game, I just don't think this is going to be the shootout we all think it is. We're remembering what the Super Bowl was. This ain't that. This is a much different meeting. I think the under 50.5 cashes. That's the bet that I just gave out for 6,000 likes. When we hit 8,000 likes, I will drop another pick on you guys. Pick Chiefs defense for rest of season, up by 5 this week, so Chiefs defense is sitting the bench tonight. Cali Kid, I got you. Chiefs defense has performed really well. Do you still not like my Javonte for Breece Hall trade after this week? Yeah, I kind of like Breece Hall rest of season. Mahomes, Hurts has 2 picks. Oh, Mahomes, I love it. In 3rd place, 10-man league, but have the least points scored against me. Guys, I hate when people throw shade on you. Mahomes, you can only start who you can start. You can only play who you can play. If you're in your top 5, if you're in the playoffs right now because teams have had their bad weeks against you, what are you supposed to do? Like, you're supposed to, what? Give them points? You're supposed to take a L? Guys, there's no crying in fantasy football. You win, you lose. That's how the universe draws it up. If you are 3rd in your league, but it's because a lot of people had their worst weeks against you, either your luck runs out come playoff time, or the football fantasy gods have blessed you with a wonderful year. Either way, don't worry about people throwing shade. They can kick rocks. Nico Collins or Ayuk. Heber, is this rest of season? We're not going to dive into week 12 right now. I want to do my research on it, so we'll get to that in a little bit. Will Kelsey get 22 fantasy points? Yes. Yes, I think he does, but I'll get to a Travis Kelce player prop. Actually, let's drop it right now. We have hit 8,000 likes, so I've got another player prop bet to drop on you guys. This one may surprise you. Again, these are my bets. These are bets that I'm making based on trends, data, and analytics. Are these locks? Absolutely not. There are a lot of people out there in sports betting world who are going to tell you guys this is my lock of the night. I don't do that. I don't do that, guys, because I'm saying that my bets have they could lose. I'm not going to say there's ever a lock. This is what I'll say. I do my research. How I spend my day, how I work out off the air is I study the trends, data, and analytics behind every bet that I make. So I'm following the trends. If the trends don't follow through, oh well. But I'd rather follow trends than follow gut instinct. So when I give you guys a pick that I'm taking, it's because I saw trends and the variables all correlated in a certain direction. I am not telling you it's a guarantee. I am not telling you to put your house on it. I'm not telling you it's a lock. I'm just telling you that the trends, the data, the analytics all point in a direction. I'll follow that like Michael Scott follows GPS right into a lake. So with that said, I am going to give out a pick right now, a player prop bet that may surprise you guys. I'm going to take Travis Kelce under 7.5 receptions. So Travis Kelce under 7.5 receptions, and I'll tell you why. One, I don't think this Chiefs offense is dynamic enough to draw attention away from him. And this defense, as bad as it is, Eagles defense, as bad as it is against the pass, they're actually good at covering tight ends. They're like a top 15 team at covering tight ends. They're terrible at wide receivers. So we look at the stats of the Eagles. They're better at defensively covering tight ends than they are at wide receivers. That's one of the reasons I like this. Additionally, I also think Travis Kelce could get big yardage. He could get a touchdown. But getting 8 catches, it just felt high to me. It felt like that was Vegas inflating it because Taylor Swift is in the building. If this was set at 6.5, I'd probably be on it because I could see him getting to 7 catches. But getting to 8 catches when the Eagles know that's the number 1 player on the opposing offense, you feel like they should try and stop that. So I'll take the under on that one. We have hit 10,000 likes, so I'm going to drop another pick for you guys. I know I just said Travis Kelce under 7.5 receptions. That doesn't mean I don't like Travis Kelce to find that end zone. Look, Taylor Swift is in the building, everybody. And you know what that means. Her boyfriend is going to show out. The trends, the analytics, they follow that. So I will take Travis Kelce on over a half an anytime touchdown. I do feel like he gets in the end zone. So I have Kelce under 7.5 receptions. But I do have Travis Kelce over a half an anytime touchdown. When we hit 12,000 likes, we'll give out another pick. DeAndre Williams, Rice or Swift tonight? I go Rashee Rice. He's the one I prefer. Nuve DK, should I drop Davis for either Dobbs or Reed? Yes. Yes, I would. Here's the only concern about that. The Green Bay Packers had a very favorable matchup last week, so it was kind of easy to anticipate that they would have big games. You can't say that about every week. Now, I do like them this week against the Lions, but be mindful. We don't like the Packers passing game every week. Bronson, trade Lawrence and Sutton for Herbert. No, I wouldn't do that, in part because Cortland Sutton's value continues to climb. Sherry, wait, what? I thought the Swift family was going to be there. I thought Taylor Swift and her parents were going to be there. Are we getting some breaking news? Sherry, please tell me. This is important. I don't know if there is anything that is more important to player prop bets right now than Taylor Swift attending or not attending Chiefs games. Swift over 13.5 rushes. While we learn about whether Taylor Swift's going to be in the building, we will look up rushing attempts for DeAndre Swift. So for DeAndre Swift, I see it set at 13.5 as well. The over's a good play. The over's a much better play. This has been a good trend over the last 8 games. 7 of the last 8 this is cashed. Again, I think the Eagles have to be a bit more balanced, so I like it. Sherry, she had to postpone her show last night, so she's doing her show tonight, and thus she's missing the game. Oh, wow. This is big news, everybody. This is big news. First of all, obviously this impacts the sports betting behind it, but it also impacts the Monday Night Football broadcast. I haven't seen this on social media yet, so Sherry, you might be breaking news for all of us. Jordy, time to hit the panic button on Derrick Henry. The answer is the panic button should have been pressed a while ago, and it's not because of Derrick Henry. It's the Tennessee Titans didn't invest in providing Derrick Henry with what he needed to be successful at this stage of his career. They are running him into the ground. They are running him into the ground. And I feel terrible because Derrick Henry deserves to have a better team around him, but that offensive line started to chip down and started to get weaker. They took away A.J. Brown, so there were less receivers around, dealing with rookie quarterbacks. I feel terrible because do I think it's Derrick Henry's fault? Absolutely not, but I do think Derrick Henry is just not going to produce like we want, in part because the Titans aren't putting him in a position to succeed. Jimbo, I'd go Rashee Rice. Jimbo, I'd go Rashee Rice. Nunya, we're hearing Tay Swift may not be in the building tonight. Taylor Swift might not be in the building. Could have a big impact on some of the player prop bets. By the way, guys, I still like Travis Kelce on an anytime touchdown, so I'm not going to change my bets just yet. But my under 7.5 receptions all of a sudden feels pretty good, I'll say that. Guys, we are about to hit 12,000 likes. I owe you guys a pick. I owe you guys a pick. We have given out a pick every time we have hit our 2,000 like benchmark. I am going to give out another pick for you guys. And the next one I'm going to give out is going to be my SHARPZ play of the day. The SHARPZ play of the day, everybody. Brought to you by the SHARPZ app. If you want every bet that I make every day, DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. The name of my company, Butt Fumble Sports. DM me on Instagram, and I will share a link and a referral code so you can see every bet that I make every day. All of my bets are free. They're all available on the SHARPZ app. They're not behind a paywall. You don't have to do anything but download the app and look up my profile there, and you can see every bet that I make every day for free. With that said, my SHARPZ play of the day for hitting 12,000 likes is going to be, drum roll please, Celtics on the money line. I didn't say it was a risky one, but it is one that I like tonight. I put this actually out on my Instagram story last night. So far this season, so far in the 2023 NBA season, when there is a road favorite who has a 9-point spread or more. So, like tonight, the Celtics are a 9.5-point favorite. The Bucks are a 9-point favorite, both on the road. Road favorites with a 9-point spread are undefeated this year. They're 7-0. So I'm going to make my SHARPZ play of the day a double dip on this one. I know we haven't hit our next live goal, but I'm also going to take the Bucks on the money line. Those are my two favorite bets of the night. I put the little symbol next to them up on the screen to let you guys know. I would make those a parlay play. So I would take like Celtics and Chiefs money line parlay. Celtics Bucks money line parlay. Put those as legs of a parlay. Celtics money line, unless you really put down a lot of money, won't get a lot returned for you. But Celtics Bucks, the trends really indicate those are two very good plays tonight. Just on the money line. I'm not taking the spread. Just on the money line. I'll fold them into some parlays. In fact, I'm curious. I'm actually doing an experiment tonight. Trying something new. I'll bring you guys in on the experiment. So when you bet a parlay, when you bet a number of bets all on the same ticket, you also have the option to do what's called a round robin, which is where you could take, say I did 10 bets, you could have them chopped up into their 2, 3, 4, and round robin that. Well, that's exactly what I did tonight. There isn't that much action tonight between the NHL, the NBA, and Monday Night Football. There isn't like a ton of games going on. There's good games, but there isn't a ton of games. And the teams that we like, most of them are heavy favorites. So I thought tonight of all nights might be a nice night to try that round robin. I'll let you guys know how it goes. I did a round robin on all of the bets, which is something crazy. I'm serious. It's something like 240 bets because it was something like an 11 different picks all on the same round robin. So there's a lot of bets there. I am not encouraging this for you. This is an experiment I'm doing. I'm the guinea pig. I'm the penguin that's being pushed in the Arctic waters to see if it's safe. So this is a way for me to learn, give a report back, and give you guys an indication whether it's something to try. Ben Massey, Jacobs for Hall. I don't know if I do it. I don't trust Nathaniel Hackett that much, Ben. I still think I like Jacobs moving forward a bit more. If I take a quick look at next week, it's not a great matchup for Jacobs against the Chiefs. I will say that. Much more favorable matchup for the for Breece Hall next week at least. But if I look at the Raiders' schedule, just remainder of the year, Chiefs, Vikings, Chargers, Chiefs, Colts. It's not a great rest of season schedule in terms of running game for Jacobs. I'll give you that. Let's take a quick look at what Breece Hall's rest of schedule looks like. Dolphins, Falcons, Texans, Dolphins, Commanders, Browns. It's not crazy favorable either. I think they're probably about the same right now. I don't know if I make the move, Ben. Brennan Garcia. I had Diggs, Eckler, and Kupp, Etienne, and Laporta. Thoughts on them, and will they pick back up? Well, I certainly think that Eckler he should have had a better game. Unfortunately, he now plays the Ravens next week. That's unfortunate. Cooper Kupp. Man, don't feel good about that one at all. I'll certainly say that. As for Etienne's matchup this week, Houston Texans, he could have a better game actually in that one, the way they're going to use him. Laporta, I think he bounces back actually very nicely against the Packers. DN, any advice on Achane? I wouldn't play him this week against the Jets. It feels like a bit of a trap. It should be a really favorable matchup. It should be a must start. But given the fact that you can't trust his knee, I'm going to wait until we can call him, no doubt, fully healthy. But that could be a minute. Again, if you guys want every bet that I make every day, regardless of the sport, regardless of the type of bet, and if you don't want us to wait to hit our live goal or our like goal, make sure that you DM me on Instagram, Buttfumble Sports on Instagram. DM me, hit me up on Instagram. I'll share a link and a referral code so you can get every bet that I make every day. Hit me up, and that way, first of all, you can follow me on Instagram. I put out a lot of trends on my Instagram story. That way you can see some of the trends that I like every single day. But additionally, get every bet that I make. Sal knows what I'm talking about. Sal, hope you're having a great day, buddy. Sal's my title gifter for roses. Way to go, Sal. LGP Elite, did you give out any plays for Monday Night Football yet? Just got home. First of all, LGP Elite, I so appreciate you and so many of you guys coming home from work or coming back from wherever you are and turning on TikTok to watch our content. Maybe you were just scrolling or maybe you're a loyal viewer, but thank you for making the time out of your day to watch our show. It is so humbling to know so many of you guys are taking the time to watch our content. So grateful that you do so. With that said, we have actually given out a number of plays for tonight. I'm going to quickly go through some of those. Once we hit our live goal, I will give out another pick. We're getting close to that live goal, so I'll give it another pick when we hit that live goal. Here's the next bet that here are the bets I've given out so far. So I have 2 SHARPZ plays of the day. Thanks for hitting the live goal, everybody. Thanks, Sal. I'll give out a pick in a minute, but I'm just going to review the picks that we've given out so far. So my 2 favorite bets of the night are Celtics money line, Bucks money line. Those are my 2 favorites. Obviously, that's some NBA. As for Monday Night Football, keep your ears open, guys. Monday Night Football bets that I like. Chiefs on the money line. I like the Chiefs to win this game. Love the Chiefs off a bye week. Like the matchup between Super Bowl teams that have played before. Having that rematch, the team that won the Super Bowl is undefeated. So I like Chiefs on the money line. I'm going to take the under. I'm going Eagles, Chiefs, under 50.5. Primetime unders have been a great play. 2 defenses that I actually think are better than people think, and offenses that aren't quite as good, especially now that Dallas Goedert is out. As for player prop bets that I've given out, Patrick Mahomes, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Eagles are a bad pass defense. I like Mahomes through the air tonight. I don't like the running game with Pacheco, so I'm taking Patrick Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Speaking of passing game, Kadarius Toney, his line tonight is over half a reception. Okay, I'll take the gamble on that. It's actually been a very good bet. He's gotten 1 catch very consistently this year. That's all I'm asking for. 1 catch, Kadarius Toney. I just need 1 catch. The next 2 player prop bets that I gave out were related to Travis Kelce. Now, we've been hearing some different things about whether Taylor Swift's going to be in the building or not tonight. Maybe that impacts some things. But I like Travis Kelce under 7.5 receptions. Travis Kelce under 7.5 receptions. And I like Travis Kelce over an anytime touchdown. Those are the bets that I'm giving out. IP Shade 45 saying Taylor Swift's in Brazil, so that canceled show absolutely impacts. I don't like his yardage as much, I'll say that now. Majomes, what's the over-under on the brotherly shove? Probably the over on that. Definitely the over. You think Mahomes gets 30-plus tonight? 30-plus points? I actually think he could. Do I think he will? No, but could he? Yes. Mahomes, as long as the weather doesn't impact him, Mahomes could have a very big night tonight, guys. Watch out. CL Young, yeah, you guys are letting me know. Taylor Swift, because of some canceled shows, she's still down in South America. Lo siento for all those Chiefs fans. No Taylor Swift in the building, but should be a lot of fun for the rest of us. LC, Kelsey or Smith TD tonight? Great question. I actually like both of them. I could see both getting in the end zone, LC. I think those are two good plays. Hand it to you. Hello, sir. Good to see you. I'm down 91.50 to 136.50 and have Hurts and Brown tonight. You absolutely have a shot. Do I think you win? I'm going to be honest. I don't think you do. But you absolutely have a shot. What you're really banking on, touchdowns, touchdowns, touchdowns. If Hurts gets a brotherly shove and Brown gets a receiving touchdown, I think you can get there. But I think only one of the two is going to happen. Alvaro, should I start McBride or Laporta for next week? We're not going to give out too much Week 12 information tonight because I want to do my research. I haven't looked at the trends and data yet, so I'm not going to touch that one tonight. What I will say is Laporta is probably on first blush the better play, but Alvaro, that is just me, just chit-chatting with you. I'm going to do my research tonight, look at the trends, the data, the analytics. I want to make sure every time I give you guys a piece of information, a pick, a player prop bet, a piece of fantasy advice, I want you guys taking it to the bank that I've done my research on it. I'm not saying you can take it to the bank that it cashes every time, because that would be a ludicrous way of approaching things. But I want you knowing that I've done my research, so the advice that I'm giving you is backed by data, trends, and analytics. Hopefully those trends continue, and we can be right about it. Royce Tooth, trade Dell and Puka for Etienne and Kincaid. Tricky one, because Dell's been performing so well, but I actually do like it, Royce Tooth. I like the Etienne Kincaid side. Jordan Diab Customs, I'm down 11. I have Hurts. My opponent has Kelsey. Do I have a chance? With Taylor Swift not in the building, you do have a chance. I think it's close. I think you could get there. The problem is I think Kelsey gets a touchdown, which will ultimately knock you out. So, Jordan, hate to be the bearer of bad news. I'll say you don't get the win. I feel like you're going to lose by like 3 points. I think it's going to suck for you. Sorry. Name's Rolfie. I'm down 89.95. He has Pacheco. I have Swift. What do you think? I actually think you're in a decent spot. And the reason I say that, I think Swift has a better game than Pacheco. Now, I'm going to admit, I don't love Swift tonight, so I'm not going to get your hopes too high. But I don't like Pacheco at all. He is facing arguably the best run defense in the NFL. Not just between the 20s, but in the red zone as well. The Eagles are a stiff run defense. Pacheco might get a couple of catches, but given how often they use Jerick McKinnon in the passing game, I really don't like Pacheco's value. So I'll lean just slightly, I think, towards Swift overall. So might give you some hope. Mr. Land, thanks so much for the first gift. Really appreciate you guys supporting the show the way that you do. I owe you guys a pick because you guys are awesome. So let me get back to work. Butt Fumble Sports, what are you slacking for? I'm going to give out another NBA pick for you guys. If you guys do follow me on Instagram, you saw this on my Instagram story earlier today. Very, very, very good trends on this one. Clippers on the money line. Clippers on the money line. First of all, when the Clippers go to San Antonio, the Clippers win. That's been a very good trend over the last few years. Additionally, at home this year as a home dog, the Spurs have sucked. They only have one win this year as a home dog. I like the Clippers getting the win tonight. We have a couple other bets to give out, some player prop bets related to that game. We'll give out those in a little bit. Danny 7, I have A.J. Brown and Mahomes going against Swift. You think I got it? I'm down by 2. You got it. You got it. You got it. Cyclops Daddy, Chandler or Singletary need to replace Walker. Well, if you have to go between one of these two teams right now, it's all about the matchups. And upcoming this week, Minnesota plays the Chicago Bears. Bears are a really good run defense, so I'm not on Chandler this upcoming week. Houston Texans host Jacksonville. Jacksonville's a good run defense as well, so I don't really like Chandler or Singletary this upcoming week. But Jones is asking for a Brandon Staley rant. That's easy. Okay, Ron Rivera, I'll start with this. Ron Rivera is the most worthless head coach right now in the NFL. He is the person who's doing the least amount of actual contribution or contributing to his team's effort despite being head coach. Here's the issue with Brandon Staley. I wish he was doing nothing. I wish Brandon Staley was just a sack of meat standing there on the sidelines. The problem is, I think Brandon Staley actually makes mistakes. Ron Rivera is a bad coach because he does nothing and he lets his team lose. The problem with Brandon Staley is I think he's a bad coach. I don't know why we turned every head coach that ever came in contact with Sean McVay into a candidate for head coaching a few years ago, but that's what happened.
Opposing ball. How do you not stop that? Brandon Staley is one of the worst coaches in the NFL. I mentioned this to you guys before. The issue with the Chargers is not Brandon Staley, though. The issue is with ownership. Los Angeles Chargers ownership is notoriously cheap. When I say cheap, I mean will not rub two pennies together if they knew a genie would come out of the process. The Chargers ownership is capital C-E, capital C-H-E-A-P, cheap. Who knows if I can spell or not? But they are cheap, and because of that, they didn't want to give Sean Payton the contract he deserves. They won't want to pay Bill Belichick if he's available next offseason. The problem is Brandon Staley is inexpensive, and because of that, that's why he's still their head coach. Until they spend the money on a good head coach, you're still going to get these like up-and-coming candidates. Screw that. You're going to ruin the window of Justin Herbert because you weren't willing to spend the money on Sean Payton. Can you imagine? Look at the Denver Broncos right now with Sean Payton. Can you imagine the Chargers if they had that kind of head coaching? Can you imagine what the Chargers would be? They've invested on defense, at least from a free agent standpoint. They have offensive weapons. Can you imagine if they had a good head coach? Who knows? Mr. Land, Clippers, Celtics, Chiefs, Bucks parlay. Mr. Land, I will see you there. I am already on that parlay. I'm rooting for us, knock on wood. Mr. Land, hopefully we get there. Now, this is what I'll say. Mr. Land, the trends support those 4 picks. Are they locks? No. Sports betting is risky. Things happen. One thing I will always warn you guys is never bet your house. Never bet enough money so that you can't sleep at night. Win or lose, I'm going to sleep fine tonight, guys. So make sure that you bet responsibly. Never bet enough where you can't sleep at night. But is that a good parlay, Mr. Land? I think so. Steve Wilkes going to get the Chargers job. You know what? I like Steve Wilkes and he deserves to be a head coach, but that's still the wrong guy. And you know why Mahomes, I can believe it happens. It's because he's cheap. It's because Steve Wilkes wants to be a head coach, so he's not going to ask for a big salary. I can totally see it happening, but until the Chargers stop being, not frugal. Frugal is a compliment. Frugal makes it sound like you're really trying to cut corners so that you can spend for the kids' Christmas presents. No, you're not being frugal. You run a multi-billion-dollar organization and you're being cheap. And it's costing you wins. It's costing you playoff games. It's costing you the chance to go after a Super Bowl. And it's costing you Justin Herbert's career. The worst part of all of this is football players get a finite amount of time. They are not NBA players where they can move around. They're not baseball players where you can find other opportunities. NFL players, you might only get to play for one team in your entire NFL career, and then that's it. So if Brandon Staley squanders this opportunity for his players, they'll never get it again. Chargers should have made a move last offseason. Brandon Staley should be fired. He's a bad head coach. He's a bad head coach. That's my rant. That's my rant. If you guys want more rants, you guys know what to do. Gidge, what's the play? I need something, please, brother. Okay, we got some picks for tonight. If you're watching over on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, you can see my picks up on the screen. We're going to drop another pick on you guys when we hit 20,000 likes. We have given out Celtics money line, Bucks money line, Chiefs money line, Clippers money line. Those are the money line plays we've given out so far. We like Eagles and Chiefs under 50.5. I'm taking another primetime under. I got Mahomes over 1.5 passing touchdowns. Kadarius Toney to get at least 1 catch. Travis Kelce under 7.5 receptions. And Travis Kelce to get a touchdown, even though Tay Swift is not going to be in the building. Lion Man, should I trade Jacobs for Hunt? Kind of an interesting move. I don't hate it, actually. Here's the reason I say that. Kareem Hunt has a lot of favorable matchups coming up in the next few weeks. So the Browns, they face the Broncos. They face the Jets. They face the Bengals. There are some teams that they can run on. I still think I like Jacobs a little bit more in terms of overall usage, but it's not as bad an idea as it was maybe a week or two ago. drop Jalen Warren, Singletary, or Schultz for a defense. Yikes. Well, if I was probably to drop any of them this week, it would probably be Singletary. He's got a tough matchup, Jaguars, Texans. Jaguars are a good run defense, but I don't love giving any of them up. Should I sell Kupp if I'm 8-3? Brock Ford, yes, I would. Lion Man, I would keep Warren and Schultz just because the run defense is better for the Jaguars than their pass defense, but something to consider. Guys, I'm going to give out another pick right now. Let's make it an NBA player prop bet, okay? NBA player prop bet coming your way, guys. You guys ready? You set? Okay, talking about that Clippers game. Clippers tonight down in San Antonio. I'm taking James Harden over 17.5 points. James Harden over 17.5 points. It's actually been a pretty good trend both recently over the last couple of games, but also in his career against San Antonio. That's James Harden over 17.5 points. Next player prop bet that I'm dropping on you guys. Let's get back to some of your fantasy questions. Tweety Bird, have Kyron coming back. Should I drop Foreman or Mitchell? Drop Foreman, I think. Drop Foreman. I wouldn't give up Mitchell right now. I like Mitchell's upside, I think, more than Foreman. Even though Foreman's got good upside, I think I like Mitchell's more. Tyler Miles, I'm down 8.5 and I have Devontae. Very close. It's all about can he get in the end zone. I think he can get you like 5.5, 6 points without it. If he gets to the end zone, you're obviously there. Thoughts on Swift? We looked at this earlier, Matthew. I do like Swift over on rushing attempts. I'm not putting it on my big board, but it is one that I like. Integrated Healing House. What are your best bets of the day? So if you're looking on my screen, my SHARPZ plays of the day are my favorite bets of the day. I will never say they're locks because that's giving you guys kind of a false impression. These are the ones, though, that I have the highest confidence level in, the ones that I like the most. Celtics on the money line, Bucks on the money line, and I'm going to add one more for you guys when we hit 22,000 likes. We'll give out another NBA game pick that I really like at 22,000 likes. Mark Gonzalez, my opponent needs 37 points to win tonight. He has Kelsey and Hurts. I think you're in a really tough spot, Mark. I think you win, but I think you're in a really tough spot. You should be happy Taylor Swift's not going to be there. Oh, JP, I'm not going to bet first half. I'm not going to bet that one. I don't like betting first half passing yards. There are too many variables involved in that for me. That has a lot to do with, like, if the Chiefs got the ball first, went on like a really long drive, scored, maybe that changes the play calling. JP, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. The Cake 88 Lamb for Kupp and Swift. Don't do it. I'd rather have Lamb. I'd rather have CeeDee Lamb. Pop Lobo need 28 from Brown and Butker tonight. What do you think? I think it's very possible. I don't think you get there, but I think it's very possible. My concern is I think the Chiefs cover A.J. Brown better than people expect, but I like Butker tonight. I will say that. But Jones, is Draymond Green the most enjoyable player to watch? No. Actually, I have a bit of a hot take. You know who the most enjoyable player is to watch right now in the NBA? It's Anthony Edwards. Believe it or not, Anthony Edwards right now to me is the most enjoyable player to watch play. I'm not a Minnesota Timberwolves fan. I certainly don't like Rudy Gobert from his antics a couple years ago. But right now, Anthony Edwards is fun to watch. If you're not watching Anthony Edwards, you're missing out. What can I trade for Jamar Chase? Brendan, are you trying to acquire Jamar Chase or are you trying to give him up? I still think he has high-end wide receiver 2 value. So if you're giving him up, look for like a Waddle, look for a Devontae Smith. Lethal Jake, I got a bunch of Ant-Man rookie cards I'm saving. Lethal Jake, that is an investment worth holding on to. Normally, I'm not big on like rookie cards of players. He's someone that I would want to own a rookie card of. Carter 22, pick 2 rest of season. I'll go White and I'll go Gibbs. I'll go White and Gibbs just barely over Kamara. Is Month supposed to be Montgomery? It might be Montgomery and White then. It's close. Do you think A.J. Brown will get to 70 yards tonight? I can see him getting to 70 yards. I don't see him getting to like 85. I see him being closer to 70 than 85. By the way, Jorge, Shea Gildress-Alexander is a very good answer as well. That's a really good pick too, Jorge. No issue with that one. Yeah, Carter 22, I'd go Montgomery then. It would be Montgomery and White, I think. Cameron, Smitty for Gibbs, do it. Miles Maldonado, what do you think of my chances are winning with Swift and Kelsey? Well, I don't love them. I don't hate them. They're two players that could have good games, but the problem is it's all about touchdowns for them tonight. Lethal Jake, I'm up 46. He's got Hurts and Rice left. You think I'm good? I think you're good. I think you're okay, Lethal Jake. Ranger, I was so bummed about your Eckler pick. I thought for sure. Ranger, you are obviously pouring salt in a very open wound right now. What really pissed me off yesterday is there are times where it's like, okay, they never got in the red zone. There was never really an opportunity to use him. The Chargers were down at like the 5-yard line, and they threw the ball. Every time. What are you doing? Like, and this has nothing to do with sports betting. I want to make sure that's clear. I don't get angry when my sports bets don't cash. I actually don't. I have a problem with bad sports. I know that sounds crazy. I'm okay if my sports bets don't cash. That's betting, that's gambling. You have to understand that you're not going to cash on everything. I'm not going to be a lunatic and be like, everything should work out the way I want, or coaches should coach the way that my bets go. No. But when coaches are idiots, you have Austin Eckler. You are inside the red zone. You are at the 5-yard line or closer. You are playing a Packers defense that is bad against the run and bad against the run in the red zone. Why aren't you running the ball 4 straight times with arguably one of the top 5 running backs in the NFL? Do I think my bet should have cashed yesterday? Fine, yeah. Like, he should have found the end zone, whatever. Why do the Chargers call such stupid play? Like, Kellen Moore. I now get why Mike McCarthy wanted you gone. I get it now. Because Mike McCarthy's like, why don't we run with Tony Pollard in the red zone? And Kellen Moore's like, no, let's throw to CeeDee Lamb. All right, boys. JP, how's the Chiefs' pass defense? Better than you think. Especially when it comes to the Chiefs do a really good job of putting pressure on quarterbacks through the blitz and doing just enough in man coverage to not give up the big ball after the fact. One of the things I actually think the Chiefs don't get enough credit for is they play a lot of risky defense with how they put on pressure, but they don't give up the home runs. They don't let, like you saw last night, Minnesota brought that zero blitz and got beat by Russell Wilson a couple times. Chiefs don't get beat the same way in that. Kind of an impressive thing. Eckler owner, I about lost my mind. Lethal Jake, fumbles will drive you crazy in this world. Jorge, Mahomes under 2.5 passing touchdowns. No, I wouldn't take it. I like him over 1.5. I could see him gain to 3 passing touchdowns. That's not too crazy for me. Ricardo Martinez, up 17. He only has Mahomes. So you're saying I got a chance? You got a chance, but I don't like it because I think Mahomes is going to have a big game. Big game. So I'm sorry. But going into this week, there were 3 quarterbacks that I said I absolutely love. Jared Goff, Brock Purdy, and Patrick Mahomes. Those were the 3. Now, Jared Goff had those interceptions, but outside of that, he still had a pretty good game. Brock Purdy literally had a perfect passer rating. So I'm going to say we're doing pretty well on our expectations of quarterbacks so far this week. Unfortunately, I really like Mahomes this week. Sounds like a Pete Carroll move with beast mode. Kind of. Mark Gonzalez, that's kind of right, though. Like, Kellen Moore kind of has that Pete Carroll, like, I want to throw for the touchdown more than run it in. You have Austin Eckler. And again, by the way, if the Packers were like a good run defense or good in the red zone, if they were like the Eagles, would totally get it. You would not hear this rant from me, because that would be me trying to, like, say something stupid to justify my bet. Like, no. We don't do that about Fumble Sports. We get something wrong, we admit it. But you're inside the 5-yard line. You have Austin Eckler, and the Packers are what, a bottom 10 defense against the run? Bottom 10 defense against the run in the red zone? Made 0 sense. Kellen Moore, there's a reason you lost that job in Dallas. There's a reason you lost that job in Dallas. And by the way, and Dallas looks fine without you. So it's not like we're looking at the Dallas offense going like, man, they're really struggling without Kellen Moore. No, I feel like Mike McCarthy's calling a pretty good offense these days. DN, Hollywood Brown, and Barkley for Gibbs. I'm okay with it, DN. I don't love giving up Barkley right now, but Gibbs is worth it, I think. J-Ram TV, pick 2 for the upcoming week. I will say this, J-Ram. I haven't looked at this upcoming week at all. If I did give you advice on it, it would be like shooting from the hip, and I don't like to do that because that's a really bad way of operating. Here's what I would say. Of the players that you named, just from what I know, DJ Moore has a really good matchup against the Vikings, especially with Justin Fields healthy. When Justin Fields has been on the field, DJ Moore has had massive numbers. And Jalen Warren's got a good matchup against the Bengals. So Moore and Warren kind of stand out for that reason. But J-Ram, please join us for our shows later this week. That way we can do our research off the air and give you as well an informed an opinion as possible during another show. Do you like live betting Purdue right now? Is the Maui, you're talking about the Maui Classic right now? Here's what I would say. Harrison, the only reason I wouldn't bet it either way is because I'm not watching the game. I really don't like to live bet something if I'm not watching it because you don't know about like foul trouble. You don't know about the flow of the game. Here's what I would say. Purdue, Gonzaga. I kind of like Purdue coming back from the 5 points. But again, I haven't seen it. So Harrison, I like it in terms of a theory. Purdue is the better team than Gonzaga. They've already made it a one-score game. So Harrison, get Purdue money line should be a good bet. But if I'm not watching the game live, Harrison, I feel like live betting, you got to kind of have your hand on the pulse of it. Angel, MP, Jackson, Swift, Gibbs, Diggs, Allen, Laporta, Ridley, Flowers, Saints, D, Aubrey, potatoes, yams, greens, I think it's a really good team. Angel. I think you got a really solid squad. The only issue that I have right now with this team is maybe Lamar Jackson and Flowers. You're a little loaded on the Ravens offense, but not that much. Like, it's a pretty good squad. It's pretty balanced. You're not overly loaded on any other team besides that. I feel pretty good about it, Angel. Phillip, should I trade Diggs or Eckler? Not feeling great about them this year. Phillip, I understand it. This might not be the year for them. Austin Eckler dealing with injuries and comes back not getting the usage that we thought. Meanwhile, Diggs, what's up with that? I mean, really quick, though, to look ahead to next week, just to keep you guys aware of it. The Bills next week play the Eagles. Again, the Eagles are a bad pass defense. Diggs should have a good week next week. Eckler against the Ravens next week isn't a good play, though. Or next Swift. I'm going to go Rice over Smith. I'm going Rice because the matchup is better. I don't love it. Smith is the better wide receiver in terms of talent. I don't love betting against Devontae Smith in favor of Rashee Rice. But Ornex Swift, Rice has the better matchup. I'll go with Rashee Rice. JP, we talked about this one earlier. We took it at 13.5, JP. Sean S. Hurts and Swift for Mahomes and Kamara. Sean S., I might do that one. Really quickly. I want to look at one thing really quick. I want to look at the Saints roster. I want to look at the Saints the schedule remainder of the year. So the Saints this week have the Falcons, then the Lions, Panthers, Giants, Rams. There's a nice little stretch there with the Panthers, Giants, Rams, and Bucks where he could have Kamara could be a very good playoff player. His playoff schedule is good. His end of regular season fantasy schedule is not, but his playoff schedule is. So I actually do like it, Sean S. Joe Ross, Tua, Dobbs, rest of season. Very, very tricky, but I'll go Tua. If I trade Jacobs for Swift, do I win? It's close. I think I like Jacobs more because the red zone opportunities. Drew, my running backs are Pacheco, Mixon, Bijan, Raheem Mostert. Who should I be looking to trade for a wide receiver? Probably Mixon or probably Mixon. I think Mixon's value ironically goes up in some ways without Joe Burrow. They'll feed him the ball more, but I also think defenses are going to load the box more. Pacheco's got good value. I wouldn't move on from him. Raheem Mostert has great value now that Achane is injured again. Bijan, tricky, but I'd hold on to him. He's getting more opportunities. Clearly, Arthur Smith is feeling the heat of his seat and wants to feed Bijan a little bit more. Drew, I'd probably move on from Mixon if I could, and I'd try to really sell the narrative that the Bengals are going to have to run the ball more with no more Joe Burrow. So, Aaron, Bijan rest of season. As I just said, I think Arthur Smith is kind of hearing the rumors that he's going to be fired. He knows people are disgruntled and they're pissed off he didn't use Bijan sooner. So I think Bijan could be kind of a beneficiary of all of that. One thing to kind of keep note of, the Falcons matchups for the remainder of the year: Saints, Jets, Bucks, Panthers, Colts, Bears, and Saints. Mixed bag in there. Love the matchup against the Panthers and the Colts. Don't love the matchup against the Bucks. Tricky, tricky, tricky. What should I do with Kupp? I'd move on from him. Thoughts on Diggs? I'd hold on to him. Mike Evans or Bijan? Rest of season? Really tricky. If you're asking about next week, we're going to do our research for next week overnight, and that way we're ready to get out some winners for tomorrow. Hey man, what do you prefer? 5 total touchdowns in the match or Chiefs to score 3? I think the Chiefs to score 3 is a better play. 5 total touchdowns? 5? I don't think so. That feels high. I don't know. Integrated Healing House. I don't know. I haven't done bets like that before. But Jones, Carissa Thompson says Joe Burrow is good to go. So I will tell you guys just a quick story. I worked at Fox Sports. I was there when Fox Sports 1 and 2 were launched. And I got to know Carissa Thompson. Carissa Thompson worked on the show that I worked on, Fox Sports Live. I was there for a couple of years. And Carissa Thompson's a wonderful person. I really like Carissa Thompson. I want to make sure I say this, and this is recorded because we're on YouTube. Carissa Thompson works her ass off. Something that's coming out of this is that they're kind of painting the Carissa Thompson. Carissa Thompson works her ass off. Carissa Thompson's a hard worker. She has earned everything that she's gotten in this business. I'm a big fan of Carissa Thompson. I've known her for a couple years. Obviously not know her like I'm going to text her or anything, but I knew when we worked together. We worked together on the show. I got to see her work ethic. I had to produce some segments with her. Carissa Thompson's a great person. She's a hard worker, and she said something really stupid. Really stupid. I'm not going to forgive the comment. I really like Carissa. I think the world of her. I think she's incredibly talented, and I think she's hardworking. That said, yeah, I'm not very big on the comment she made. I think that she undermined her own profession. She undermined her own experience. I feel bad because I think that she went on a podcast that she thought she could let her hair down and just kind of shoot the shit, and she didn't realize that she was stepping in the shit when she was doing it. But I also think this is something that isn't a shock. Do I think that everything we hear on TV comes from the source that we're claiming it comes from? No, that's not a shock to me. I think a lot of people make shit up. I'm just embarrassed for her, and I'm sorry that she admitted it. But I don't want to confuse things. She made a mistake. She shouldn't have done it. She shouldn't have admitted it. She shouldn't have done it. She shouldn't have admitted it. But Carissa Thompson's incredibly hardworking. I'm a big fan. So, still team Carissa Thompson despite this week of turmoil. Logan traded Kenneth for Breece Hall. That was a big W, especially with Kenneth Walker III being out for a little bit. You think Pacheco and Smith can get me 35? No. Jamie, the run defense of the Eagles is too good. I don't think Pacheco can get you enough. Jose, same for you. Pacheco just has too tough a matchup, sorry. Montgomery, a good RB2 rest of season. Hell, he could be an RB1. Guys, don't overlook Montgomery's value just because Gibbs is playing better. Look, yesterday we knew Montgomery was going to have a tougher game. The Bears are a good run defense. But Montgomery against an average to lesser defense, he's an RB1. So don't overlook his value. ID Maggio, Kirk or Ayuk rest of season. Really close. I'll lean towards Ayuk, though. I like Ayuk a little bit more, I think. What did she say? Carissa Thompson pretty much came out and said there were times as a sideline reporter that she would make up a report, that she didn't have the opportunity to talk to a coach, or maybe a coach was a little prickly. You think of like a Bill Belichick. Maybe Belichick doesn't want to talk to a sideline reporter at halftime. So what she said is she would look at the stats and she would make up a storyline that was kind of obvious. It wasn't wrong, but she didn't get that information or that quote from the coach. So as she said, there were times where she would go, they're saying at halftime they really need to focus on third down conversion because they're 1 for 8. Now, obviously, that's an obvious storyline, but you did just lie to the viewer saying that you got that information from the team that you spoke to, and you didn't. So I understand she stepped in it, but I want to make sure I reiterate this again. I've worked with Carissa Thompson. I know Carissa Thompson as a professional. She is hardworking. She's incredibly talented. And she said and did something stupid. Let's not count it against her for too long. Gilly Beans, Hollywood Brown and Dobbs for Puka. No, don't like that enough. Nope, don't like it. Justin Howell, Bijan for Pollard. I'm okay with it, but Pollard's not doing well enough for me to be really ecstatic. Doug Staff, how about Swift and Elliott get 20 points? Could happen. I think you fall literally a point and a half short, but it's very close. Some buy low running backs. I still think Mitchell is a buy low candidate. I think Charbonnet is a big buy low candidate. Charbonnet, a very big buy low candidate. Jaylen Warren. If you guys haven't gotten Jaylen Warren, if he's still out there somehow, he's a buy low candidate. I think Jerome Ford, he continues to produce, and we're seeing that the Browns offense is going to continue to run through him as a running back one. So Jerome Ford has some value. Couple guys that stand out. Okay, everybody, we have been live for about an hour and 20 minutes. We're going to sign off now, and I'm going to go out with some friends to watch Monday Night Football. We will be live tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. We do our show every single day. There is not one day of 2023 we will not be live. So make sure you guys join us tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. Damian Skyberg knows what's up. Damian Skyberg's going to be there. Make sure you guys are part of the party tomorrow. We will be live 5 p.m. Eastern time tomorrow, everybody, on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. And I will do my research tonight, and I will be ready to answer your Week 12 questions tomorrow. So I know we've got a short week. We've got Thursday Night Football, 3 games on Thanksgiving. We've got a Black Friday game between the Jets and the Dolphins. We have Sunday football. So Week 12, we are going to get to all of your fantasy questions tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick to make sure you guys are ready to kick some ass for Week 12. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Damian Skyberg, you're the best. Want to give a big shout out to all of those that support the show. Sal, Damian Skyberg, Austin Grayler, Jose, Isaiah Daniels, Shug, A. Aaron, Ram Bam, Super Pants, Sand Sifter, Certified Zoobs, Johnny Paycheck 3, E. Bally 97, Happy J, Doug Staff, thanks so much for you being with us. Justin 839, Lion Man, Logan, ID Maggio, Integrated Healing House, I should say. Majones, Seth, Ben, Ornex, JP, Truth Seeker, Angel MP, Wise Guy 1089, Ranger, Will 77, Dylan, Bill Robinson, Ryan, Elaine, Ashley, Pop Lobo, Jess, Jay, Mar, Luis, Alejandro Gonzalez, Nick Ports, Dak Morrow, It's Tony, Juan, Will, Ollie Jaber, Garrett Hall, Alex, Worldwide Winners. Appreciate all of you guys being with us every day. You guys are the absolute best. Thank you guys so much for being with us. Make sure you hit the follow button. Make sure you subscribe. And again, if you want every bet that I make for free, every bet that I make, player prop bet, game pick, total play, parlays, all of my bets are available on the SHARPZ app. How do you get all of my bets for free? DM me on Instagram. Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. DM me on Instagram. Get every bet that I make every day for free. Hit me up right now. I'll give you a link and a referral code. It's absolutely free. You don't have to spend 1 cent. I made sure the sponsor I picked for my picks doesn't cost a dime. They don't charge you a dime. So, DM me on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports on Instagram. DM me. I'll send you a link and a referral code so you can see every player prop bet, game pick, total play, parlay that I'm taking for this Monday night and for every day that I make my bets. Hope you guys love the show. Appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to watch my content. Make sure you follow us on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, Kick, and Instagram so that way you never miss our content, never miss the conversation, and always can join in when we go live. Can't wait to join you guys tomorrow night. I will see you guys at 5 p.m. Eastern, everybody. 5 p.m. Eastern. Until then, have a wonderful night. Stay healthy, stay safe, and enjoy the best Monday Night Football game that we've had in years. I have got chill bumps over it. I cannot wait to go watch. Have a great night, everybody, and I will catch you guys on Tuesday. Have a good one, everybody. Goodbye.